Divide this video into 5 parts. Number one, what you are dealing with. Number two, some of the financial indicators. I'm going to show you my favorite leading indicator that I always look at. That's going to tell you a lot about what's going on with the economy. Part three, what's next for the economy and the stock market. Part four, what's next for you. That's a very important part that you please need to get to. And then part five is something that I came up with that I wanted to share with you. It's really helping me a lot that I'm doing now. And I call it 10 minutes, 1 hour. Look at this image that Drew sent me. He's just calculating his profits. So he just sent me a screenshot of his calculator. And as always, I humbly ask you guys to please help us spread our message. You can do that by clicking like on this video. The algorithm will get it out to more people, yada, yada. We got to spread the word. So you're dealing with higher prices with all this inflation that was pretty extreme. And I'll show you a longer term chart of inflation. Here it is on a annual basis. Here's inflation on a month over month basis. So while inflation has been higher, it is coming down. But even so, inflation will spring back higher, especially as everything that I'm about to tell you about plays out exactly as I'm telling you. We have the trade war, which for sure it'll set off an economic crisis sooner and more significantly. But even without the trade war, if there's no trade war at all, none of these tariffs, there still would have been an economic crisis, and it'll feel like it when we get into the recession. It's going to feel like a crisis. So you've got the trade war also, which will make it worse. Trade war plus economic crisis equals quantitative easing. They print a whole bunch of money. They have to figure a way out of this mess they've made, and they're just going to pump out a bunch of American dollars for whatever they need, which decreases the value of every dollar. The uncertainty that is a big problem right now is not only coming from the tariffs, even though there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty surrounding them. There's uncertainty with a lot of the global military conflicts as well that could go one of any number of ways that none of them are very good, not very likely to de-escalate, which will have direct effects on you and all your investing world and your ability to help the people you care about. That's why I talk about it. It's all one thing. Everything's related. The lineup of the Starbucks, the bomb dropping in Iran, the average hourly work week, all of these things sound different, but they're all part of a bigger story. And this is what I'm always trying to tell you. I'm trying to give you the total story of the one thing of the economy and what you can do about it so that you land on your feet. I'm concerned that the supply chains have basically evaporated temporarily, and a lot of the effects have not yet been felt. It's not even clear where the tariffs are, where they're coming or going. And a lot of these effects will be felt in the next month. We pay more for things, there'll be fewer things on the shelves, inflation will kick back in. But with the uncertainty surrounding the tariffs, it's not just an American thing, it's global. The worldwide business network is locked up. We're in a period of waiting. Because of the uncertainty, a lot of businesses worldwide are afraid to make any moves, and it's probably wiser that they don't for now. You don't know a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. And of course, you also get all the debt and all the other stuff I talk about in every other video I did. That's what your setup is. That's what you are dealing with. And I want to tell you about my favorite economic indicator that a lot of people don't go to first, but a leading indicator will tell you what's going to happen with the economy and the stock market ahead of time. Things like the Consumer Confidence Index, the Purchasing Managers Index, new home starts, initial jobless claims. But one of the ones that is a little bit more rarely looked at, but a lot of people do though, is the average hours worked. And I always tell you guys, it's about, with anything, it's about the angle of the slope or the speed of the trend. You can see here how it's coming down so sharply. And I'll tell you as a business owner, and this is why I like to look at this one, I'll tell you that literally the last step before layoffs is that you cut back people's hours. When you see that the business itself doesn't even need the hours that their workers are willing to provide to the company, that's an issue. And the thing about average hours worked, it's not supposed to be moving this quickly, but it's fallen off pretty strongly right as we roll into what will be the recession, as I've told you in my premise. And once you've cut back the hours for your workforce, then you have to start making even tougher decisions, which will lead to a lot more layoffs in almost every case. So you've got fewer hours worked, then you've got velocity of money falling off a cliff. And then here's a chart of monetary creation. And then that all leads into one thing, which is the effect it has on the fiat currency of the US dollar compared to other fiat currencies, like the Japanese yen, yada, yada. And I draw on about the Q ratio, the Buffett indicator, and recency bias, and people mistaking a bull market for brains. And it came up with a brand new indicator, actually. This is the Peter Leeds, can't say I didn't warn you ahead of time indicator. All of these are telling you one story. You don't want to just save yourself and let the train run into somebody else. Get people off the tracks when you get off the tracks. That's why I ask you to share the video or to click like. Just before we get into the best part, which is what's next for you, I'm going to tell you what's next for the markets and the economy. Specifically, they'll find a reason to lower interest rates, which would lead us into the recession, which will cause them to want to lower rates even more. In all of this, the US dollar then loses comparative value. The lower rates go, the less value in the dollar. But as the dollar weakens, then you're looking at the prices of everything purchased with American dollars to increase. So commodities, your pork belly will cost you 40% more, and your house might even cost 40% more. We're going to be facing double-digit unemployment. We're going to face scarcity of goods where some of the shelves will be bare. There's fewer goods coming into the country, so there's a delay before they would have been put on the shelves anyways. But now with this delay, we're finally getting to the point where we're all going to see what's going on. We're going to feel it, and it's going to be very negative for a lot of your quality of life, a lot of accessibility for to buy products at all, let alone regardless of the price you pay for them. Won't be good for the popularity ratings of the president. There's going to be double-digit declines in stocks, real estate, and cryptocurrencies. There will be double-digit spikes in precious metals prices, and therefore much more multiples of double-digit spikes in the mining companies, the approved ones that are in good health financially that have been through 29-point Leeds analysis. But where everything speeds up a lot is when we get into the recession and they respond to this economic crisis by creating a whole bunch more money. That's when you get serious double-digit inflation. And oh yeah, there's one more thing on this list about what's next for the economy and the stock market. And it's just 4 letters and capitals I put on my script. IRAN. So much matters what happens with this. But here's the best part. I want to tell you what's next for you. And I was thinking about this when I was putting the script together. And I sat back and I thought, well, how did I get started back in the day and why? And it was probably a lot similar to many of you are right now, where you've got a little bit of money, not none, but not a lot. And you want to make that little bit of money become worth a lot more. And so you have it multiply in price. So that's what got me started, even though I then went on to lose all of my money within 12 days, I think it was. But that's why I learned how to do everything right. But look, I just want to say that you can take the power back. You don't have to be a slave or a victim to inflation, or maybe you're getting less hours at work, or the economy is about to fall off a cliff. And I know times are tough for most people right now. And that's why, exactly why I'm telling you a bunch of stuff that is actually free. Some of the stuff's very helpful. It'll change your trajectory and help you get the power back, because a lot of this involves just simply learning more and adapting what you know, augmenting what you already know. And then you start evolving in the number of investment successes and the magnitude of those successes as you absorb more information and adapt it and process it. It's like anything, learning the piano, learning a martial art. It's tough, it's difficult, it's awkward, it's clunky. And then all of a sudden, one day, it just all comes together and you get it. You're playing some beautiful symphony on somebody else's face. And I kind of feel like I then thought a step beyond, and I thought, just like in the old days, you ever heard about people up on their soapbox? That was literal. It was a box of wood that the soap would come in, and then you'd have the box, and you turn upside down, you stand on it in this town square, and you'd shout stuff at people. That's where the phrase comes from. But this is just the new version of that. This is the digital soapbox. I'm able to talk to you, just you and me here. It's a conversation. I'm able to talk to you one on one because of this digital soapbox. But it's no different than hundreds of years ago, thousands of years. I don't know, when did people have soapboxes? I thought, what would be the best for you use of my time in this digital soapbox? How could I help you the most? And I wanted to tell you one of the things I'm doing now, because I learned that I have adult ADD. And so It's 10 and 1. You don't have thoughts. You don't try to fight thoughts. You just observe them if you see them. If not, you don't. And you just take 10 minutes. And I promise you, it pays off more than 10 minutes by far, by multiples. Just once a day. You'll see by day 3, I promise. The other important part is that you dedicate 1 hour uninterrupted per day just to learn, absorb stuff. And it's easy. Just go on YouTube and watch a video. You just sit there. What could be easier? How could you not do it? Yeah, your life is busy. So is everybody's life is busy. Yeah, you got problems. Everybody's got problems. You can find an hour a day, and if you can't, then in that hour, you become a sponge. You learn everything you can, even a little bit of everything. You want to know a little bit about a lot of things rather than everything about one thing. You never want to be a specialist. You want to hire the specialists. And I got a bunch of free stuff for you. All the links are below. There's the Market Manifest, which is a great free report. If you're a newer, less experienced investor, it's gold. Got lots of infographics. I even have a step-by-step getting started video for free where you can really step up your knowledge and learn a lot without spending a single penny. And all of these came in very recently. Just look at what's going on here with Dwayne, Mark, and Ed. These guys are able to crush inflation, pay their bills easier, have less stress, and take their financial power back. I was doing the math. I think it's over $1 million in profits in a very short window of time. But I know not everyone's going to be going in heavy like Ed or have the finances. You might be at the very early stage of your investment career. And if that's true, then that's absolutely perfect. I've even added a few links to learn more about a couple of our online courses, whether you want to learn about fundamental investing or technical investing. And as a business owner, I would be remiss if I did not suggest to you that if you want any of our premium, world famous online content, you can see all the ways we can help you at peterleeds.com.